Abusiafo akwa ba haye Nana Jantuah TV. Nana Jantuah TV. Yebo makwa ba biem so katoa show no etwagu. Na de omni say we new click subscribe button see we are bell notification icon you just turn it on send be ya. As usually drop a video you be the first person to get it. We are no like it. No comment no share ama fufu so anya bi ahwe because Kwadwo Jantuah won ma p e de ma topic in more de because Enra was the final funeral rite of the late Ashanti hima. Nana Kuno do the third doti yenenra ana ye wie de bibia e wo Manchia Palace before some beko bamu e de amuna ko no ya de nyina na I mean the event attracted top personalities here in the country. President of the Republic no honum, former President Akufo-Addo no honum, former Vice President, even top politicians across both devices. MPP and this no munyina honum. Jantuah anybody won come in terms of the cultural significance because oko social media and the man nkofo can say hey Asante for more culture pa as en ma for new generation Gen Z o mo nhyɛ na nimu o e dey be preserve your culture enya Asante for culture nko oko ga any the other tribes so a more beautiful culture was say yetimi preserve say dey be nchirima e ba benya so emfaso nti ene ho nsɛm ene dey ba subscribe ma me see here na we are comment o hwehwe ni yana wo share ma fofo so enya bi ahwe the man is here so katoa man Nana Kwadwo Jantuah Nana J ha you be fine
me ado
una tifo kasa check bi chiro me.
Well, I won't say go for subscribing to Nana Jantuah TV because I have and you might be brono, a bit baby na I na become part of the early starters.
Yeah,
Nana Jantuah TV. Now I subscribe it. There's a Facebook on so me in your life and see that's it.
Okay, Nana doti no I think they shall say Monday. I think they between Monday and Thursday. Just a no.
Yeah.
First off, the course in the last 4 days, me sure say we were near fee, so you are used to. Kindly walk us through the cultural significance of doti.
Well, I think say the Emma Ashanti ni. And then I am confronted as a medical culture say country be an your tribe eso. We are here enye. Nyankopon said that ye ni sa. Na okan trainer Romans I think 14. But see, we who are strong ought to help the weak.
Okay.
Naturally, no. Say, we will be a uo to me and answer on what dear, or the bois one now, we ye, ebia emre for no.
Okay.
Inti Ashanti Kingdom na esono. Ya ye nyina homa tribes dodo na. Inti na be na nebia na ni mudie ebe mu no. Owo ho de ni mu odu wo ni baabi o te de.
Yeah.
Na nso bon se ode no ho ebe bata Ashanti Kingdom na yewura nso e de nanim nyam ebe ka ho a mo nse na ayesron kokra
yeah.
Opa o de ageji owo ho say member some about tribe but they realize that anytime nipa kron be te say me ni mira e fa damfo na mira nso ka say ye namfo pe na bo nse ama orabi aban ho enti Ashanti Kingdom no there are a lot of things enti na comfort Tracy between Israel and then that of Ashanti Kingdom.
Okay.
Because Oshe Israel any Ashanti similarities bebre ewum. It is say ye wo the Ark of the Covenant.
Okay.
Israel for no more kontokwa, no more Ark of the Covenant, apamada ka edi enimu na abofo eka ho. Oye de omo be konka.
Okay.
That's the same thing like Israel. Omonso wo jete kuku no.
Okay.
Esono. Omo wo sa de ahye sa yewure kwa abrantie bi anase papa bi anana bi na oso sa de no edi yewure anim. It is supposed to protect yewura.
Wow.
Ono ye ho hwe enye.
Yes say ni pa kukudamfo nko an.
Na say eye Asante ya akrachefo.
Yeah.
Onye krachi ni awuntimi o. Because Asante no history no ti say wa adwumu edo. Ente maka te say ye kasa obi asua de no obi ye illiterate. De ontimi nkan ni krom kasa ntro ni krom kasa enye obi a utimi ken okabrofo a unye literate so wontimi nkan wo krom kasa te de ekan entimi ntwra wo ye illiterate
na ba say am say ye krom kasa na enye global enye official language and ye krom kasa na beyond that no English language your official language and you wouldn't fall to be a ocean English language
enti China ye global China, Germany, global. Russia, global.
So, English language is more official language.
No, so the point is that a crobia enyini no, the omu kasa, and the grow.
Yeah.
Obia enti Britain no ne language no dey grow.
Exactly.
Enya twi and dey enya Russia.
Yeah.
Said they are part of the G7.
Sure.
Argentina, Britain form fa Germany kasa na Russia na whatever kasa.
Ensida.
There be eno kra no America for no. Enti no say you British English. O ma chichem. O say there be way there American English. Yeah, British English ni dey grow. Enti anybody o grow no the culture.
Okay.
Enti Ashanti Kingdom ne the preservation of our culture through our mythology, the myth.
Okay.
Myth ne ye ade bia okay ye ka but untimi mfa wonu ana ye ni bibia wo hosa. Ote say untimi nka se bia okay na konfa no che no kro wei na nanim te sen unya but oral tradition.
Yeah.
Yaka say there was a fetish priest be a friend of konfa no che oni say ote say
yeah.
Enti sa mete no boa yen egada ye mehu se we ni age adi.
Wow.
Ebi say society GBB di na omoye ni ya etimi boa omumpuntu.
Wow.
Enti Ashanti Kingdom impuntu aba no the myth and the mystery surrounding certain things. And you may be a untimi nchirechirem nanso ewo ho ne ne ye no wo ho die enti nko na ye say sa nyom na akeka bom no. And yetimi a preserve na kra na from Ashanti hina wodi kan eto aso a bepem ene nti the preservation of that culture and amaya strong.
Okay.
Other parties no if we say edru maybe no the ma Ashanti Kingdom Ashanti Kingdom say ye kabo ma ahemfo because ye hia ne de etumi aka bom ne ya chechire Asante man.
Wow.
And no other tribes na ntimi anye papa nti won say obia ye diversity nti won say bi Accra we say mensu na meyega we nsu na meyega because there's no unity. But in Ashanti Kingdom no omoka bomu na both ya ko say medimitri ebeji atrema
okay
na me de atowo ye de more ye de nyoma be keka bom ni ahye no ni akonjo na golden stool no abaye ade aye nsam na ho say ye ka bomu as Asante.
Wow.
And then ama Asante anyina bedru baby ayedui. So it's about the preservation of the culture. Yeah ade wo ho a other tribes no must emulate.
I mean, Nana, we share a near my course. And yesterday when I was monitoring proceedings on television, Joy News, I was like, Nana, one program share a kuku down for a BPM was to the extent say we grandpa sa ko de ho do na went me ama no. It became an issue. Say then I sa ko de ntimi amba.
Yeah.
Nti Nana echire wo say ye won culture and tradition be was ye preserve. Enne ya me no ka say your next generation Gen Z is near the. Are you satisfied with how we are preserving our culture and exposing the future generation to our culture?
Well, I am glad because even the controversies no cry with social media no buayen.
Okay.
Although e won negative. Oh, say kutu, say bam, enye wodi ni bia, we ye bono, Dormaahene, the youth ne projecting, and that is a good thing.
Okay.
And only it tells you that there are a lot of people who are interested in preserving, and it's being done not by Impenifo
and
Kodano, the 18 to 35 for no. What they are saying,
which is the youth.
Anka Oba Kenny Nasifwe, Anka Sebi, but when we do
a youth, no,
yeah,
that's
so the beginning of that. But who say the MCU of Accra, or say to say. Accra for schools ni na obi ancho Obake. And that is perfect.
Obake
no. Perfect. He has to do that.
Okay.
You understand? Because you need to preserve the Mekra there and can cry no. Not only Obake no. I was say Kenitaki. Nani pictures. Ebobo ho. Baby President Dormaahene no. I was say the king.
And so
the picture and so boho. Sa na woko anguna memu President Dormaahene na ohene na nanso wo ho okọ esrema President Dormaahene ya na anie you know those are the things people must see and there has to be a conscious effort in the syllabus that we need to study whoever is the chief over there.
Education curriculum no.
Education enti say Accra e was say nya syllabus a ga tradition ga ohene ga for no maba no and no you have to learn.
You've raised a very important point because that tradition and you observe or it looks like a fleeting Ze be we ne beko yen document kra na dachi bi ebia for example obi wo ho no mapoku wa film na yen wo no obenya senka document bi wo ho oba appreciate how he was celebrated and stuff like that. Nana, that's another important issue we need to drum home. How to document some of these things.
And it's good. I mean thanks to social media and into gradually, but you see the danger is Obia Canadian.
Yeah, problematic.
So let us get the historians. Let them come together and document ours. Because you see, the man and say godins to issue nearby, you know. Na yenana Dormaahene air try, you know. Sometimes, from my perspective, you know, I'm open when it comes to discussion.
Sure.
Me Ashanti die, but the Bema Dormaahene die no obi adauti whether otumfo anasi kajano true anasi enye true no. Because you see, there are two things here. When we are talking about philosophers, they will argue from the point of philosophy and not from the point of theology. One of me theology here, as of for me nyame say, Bible say, ye nananum say. But philosophers be catch say, and ye nananum ne ye mobile phone ye physics. Chemistry ne keka bom ne timi anya water.
Chemicals ne sa anema no.
Nti dia wonya na nyankopon pai nsu ani no. We don't care.
Okay.
So when you are dealing with people who are more of philosophers and not theologians, the theologians are the people who believe in what we call absolutism. This is the Bible. So says the Bible. God says it.
Okay.
But the philosophers like the Platos, and the Aristotle,
very analytical.
They are logical reasoning. And no be na Gen Z for nabano. Gen Z for they are more philosophers. They don't believe in mystics, mysteries. Where you say, Obebusa na me de die ni. O dey say, it may be na yewra abaha. And before say na obeka asem no. Na before say once obeka o say tutu na there before so obeka sa no. Sa de no appellations no.
Also we
But you see, okochecha who say somebody is praising God. He is the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the ancient of days, who created heaven and earth. Ono nani beji. Ono di obeka say amen. But obaya ne ken a ohuno. Ye na appellation san o kano si no me de ya in term now the young graduate. Because he doesn't see the substance in those things. And that's why I was linking Israel. Israel, like I said, omuwo ark of the covenant. Yenso was asika kukuo na pudo na edi anim no. Say Israel for omu obibi omu friend the shofar. Omu bo sa aben bi. Nantwi aben bi. No mabo pun no mo dey usher Yom Kippur. No mo dey usher into a new month or a new year. No mabo. Yanso ye wo atentemben. Into Israel, Yankopon ebo ye yanso ye wo ye dia ye bo.
That's right.
Ho no ni nyina eye Israel for no mutina apakaimu. Yanso ye tena apakaimu. Israel for what we call the menorah. Sa de bi enso sa omo the candles is so. In the altar. You understand? Yanso ye wo opaya akọ otumfo ni gate wo. Na hwe symbol na omo de aye. It is the symbol of the menorah.
So there are similarities.
There are a lot of similarities. Omo see incense. Yanso see incense. Omo onifa hene, omo benkum hene. Up there osoro. Yankopon wo hwan. Empanyifo aduonu nan. Ebi woni nifa, ebi woni benkum. Was symbols, the four beasts, the tiger, the lion, the eagle, and all those symbols in Inano. So when you go to Mensia, now jata, atetebe, these are the things that are done up there. It represents God's kingdom. But why am I able to know that? Because I read and I've been exposed. These are the reasons why we need to document it in the televisions, through the movies, which is key. Movie. No, it's not about Kuma. There has to be a strategic investment into certain people when it comes to tradition. Because Mekachira will say, Yesu Christo movie no. Yetna sema abrofo no kofa omunkrofo ene yes a movie no
ne agidi say Yesu Christ
ene agidi say Yesu Christ no ma ye ho calendar wan kasa ye calculation calendar no a ye to ye se Yesu calendar no a ye actor no ani enim no the calendar ne say 20 cedis Christopher a wo African kwa
in fact ebinim kwa GDA to the sense obu ha onim se wo yare kwa na otosa calendar bi na Yesu picture boss no
because
we status so na say ye be sa na yare
so people really bought movies ya anya movie bro nim say sebi black man onim nyansa into the only thing is that yen yetimi yemfanye movies
wow
ye movies na ye nyina na what we call cultivation theory and social learning into the more we are exposed to Yesu Kristo nie no ye de be calendar ye de calendar ye beto wo ton so a
ono na yenska
African for Christopher wo be 500 million it multiply 500 million by 20 cedis until look at every year
these people were very smart with religion.
You know, that is why they have made a lot of money into what you say akwa with Jim Caviezel they are passion for Christ before say obe passion for Christ no na the other movie Count of Monte Cristo or you obiano on the Count of Monte Cristo romantic movie Jim Caviezel anche and obe passion for Christ
wow
but anche na sa ni picture na in kase hihye mitia moja pram no
da sorry dem nyina
eno ne de ye calendar
ye be revival dem na chese ne be ma yare saba
Easter convention bi asa akwa no ata no nanim eno mo de ye sa de
akwa no wagide ni Africa pa
yes because omunim say opa Google akadie bi a eka ho na ho say ade ne koyi so what I'm treating in say to say the Iswatini omuye no every year omubodwa emeyi kama atade omu hye mema no nso omudi asabi ema ne yefe first ne wo diponi sa nyoma no yen ka say ebia yes but ade bi wo ho a eboa there's a reason
exactly
what dey say Nigeria ni uhu na obi nka njo say we Nigeria ni
oga construction
ye wo tome bi a ode betoto no ho ye wo atade bi identity
yes
you understand enti for example ene we say me dodo na mpetomashe on petomashe because o say be go there be na e tell so your ba what you say because no they trade the size say bia unyini uye say anas umumia eye enya kwa ebi bo wonsa utinyi no ye wo the way abesia bono what you say who I say oba African lady ni
wow
that is why umumia share this lady Weyala you see how fantastic internationally yes. They are calling
because
her
she exposes our culture
and she gets more money than local artists no because we identify
major tournament ba we hear me frau
exactly
but no major tournament ba kwaje dollars
this the veteran Angelique Kidjo she's an international musician am panyufo atwa na hia no obon se ono na etonyom sa blewo eho no ko like sa
wow
na Donald Trump na say Donald Trump we hear sa
confused
but international you and okoto ye
wow
you understand so it's about identity and those who are into history and all those in the bia omukomani and let's encourage our mothers to let them know and appreciate sa akadie no eya na efe you understand it me bua ma bibia you okay
abusafo yeda ma say nana Jantuah TV so katwa show na ye demo say combination of tradition religion and education bibia and me GDS students na dem interested
na wo eya hu to ma enya ofe
nana eya na efe de omni say enye oba sinimu kra na edare nsa efe kama
but there da o masene no so eya ofe pa
come on, you're bad. Because I did media minimum dear shapa. I did me yard on. Me fair for my should be video me yard pa.
I encourage you mu fear fidiase.
Me crew mu fidiase. Okay. Mate. No omunsha tom omungutom.
Eboa.
E kan tradition ho.
E ka ho. Oko South Africa. O dey omunsha pictures.
NFL.
I mean, who I won't say yes. This is very nice lady, but sanyo mane and Zulu wear no. Washani kama.
Yeah, can't about. Me, I'm not a fan of a man or koto bi nwa guni tisu bebre. I'm not a fan of that. I am a person odo no ani nwinu abonte kuma.
Yeah.
Na why na very nice.
Yeah.
Me person dey pa.
Open do
because nana me hwe Bible ha ne more fefefe no akoto broni more fake abetara so
for what
yeah was so more fefefe
sir
what you say camera technician okay more no na we camera technician me sure so why broni de na wakoto na fake ni tan ne more na nka say efe so it's a inferiority complex is a damn I don't really understand
and I say project you
will be able to appreciate our own.
Okay, what will happen is that your best say na bia ye nana no more no ye tutu bi na ya polish na dia mom.
All right.
On meton.
So then I think we should find a way and document some of these things. Make sure say the future generation appreciate what was done back way back. So the be lady also call Yasi. Say okwa fire Santuah bibi hu say say ya dish dey way.
I was nkeye must nke bia ya Santuah no. First year in your syllabus. Ubesua ya Santuah ho e must. Ni a score o say tutu a ubesua everything o say tutu ni a score
because you be score they be forced to study
o say tutu the enti e kan o say tutu me am call prempe college ka everything prempe be so what happens is that e bedru baby no then we'll have collection of people metimi a kire yen Asante ho amane because they studied it
and this goes to the other tribes as well.
That's it. Enti se me ka prempe dia metimi anya obi amana ka ya Santuah metimi anya obi obeka ose tutu metimi anya obi obetimi aka kire o say ose bunsu ana yana. So when we come together and we are writing the history simple ya pick prempe dia ya pick way me a document.
Wow. Now we are good to go. You wrap up I think say sa content wey dey also Nana Jantuah students no more share because very educative and how we are combining religion tradition. Nana so you wrap up no traditional rulers no your casa advice or more in the next few minutes. What would be advice to the traditional rulers of this country? Not only Ashanti.
No, they shouldn't distant. And then I be kase e wasi isua. But I've said that akoda no wan fa ntete na onsua. What you say? Wan fa enti hyase ma akoda no nsua. Enti Bible say train up the child the way he should go. Onyina wan fa ntete na onte ase.
Obenyina wi nya ho na
you understand? Enti akra ni so a wonim. That is why oko South Africa the Zulu we ye hwan Zulu oko Swaziland Eswatini oba han we hu
beautiful culture
emei sese nkomu no fugu so kama fefefe oti ase omu tomei uhu a chese wani age
ne dia omu de ne ba ye de ne
na then make say they are preserving their tradition
ba ye de ne ntesa
I'm saying say